Hello and welcome to the Fishing Guide Podcast. I'm your host, Brad Wiegmann. In the house, Slabbin Mike.
The Slab Daddy.
Slab Daddy. I feel like I need to be an announcer. Say Slab Daddy.
Yeah, that's right.
How'd you get that nickname?
Two old men that hung out at the marina.
Yeah?
That's what they started calling me one day, and it just spread. And I just like, well, I'll just embrace it and name the business that. And we'll just go with it.
Next thing you know,
There
side
it
of
is.
your boat, it's a Slabbin Mike's.
That's right. There we go.
What is a slab? Is that
Just a
where
big
people die
crappie.
and they pull them in and out?
Yeah.
No.
No, actually, the lake I always fished on, Lake Ellsworth, my grandpa owned part of it before it was flooded.
Right?
So he taught me everything that was there before the water was there.
Oh.
So when nobody else could catch them, I could go get them.
You're one of those guys
Yeah.
that knows where all the good
Yeah.
spots are.
Everything that was there before the water.
When did you start guiding? We'll just start at the beginning. When did you start guiding?
I'd
Do you
say-
happen to know? How old?
It happened probably 2015. You know, people would ask me, "Can you show me how you're doing it?" And I just started with, yeah, come on. I didn't charge them any money or anything, And then
Right.
one guy just started giving me a tip, and I realized I could make money just by taking people out there. So there it went from there. And then Live Scope just increased it after that.
Right.
And then everybody wanted to go fishing. And then COVID really
Pushed
made
it.
everybody want to go fishing. So
Right.
it really just worked out.
Wow.
Good timing, I guess.
That is good timing. But so you spend most of your time guiding.
Yeah, that's
Is that
all I
right?
do, yeah.
That's all you do?
I try to fish every day till noon at least. And
Right.
then I go work on a trolling motor or a boat. Or,
And that's a kind of a secondary new job that you
Right.
have now,
Yeah,
right?
I just started that within the last year.
Is fixing trolling motors.
Yeah.
Is there a certain brand or does it
No,
matter?
I'm actually about to be authorized by Minn Kota and Motor Guide. I'm
Oh.
hoping they'll approve me. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah, be an
That's the plan.
authorized
Service
repair.
center.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
Yeah, because where I live, I got Grand Lake of the Cherokees, Hudson,
Right?
Oolagaw. I'm pretty much right in the middle of all three, and the nearest service center is all the way to Broken Arrow, about an hour away.
Wow.
So I can get that done. I'll be the closest one,
Yeah. Wow. That'll be a good deal.
Yeah.
So let's just start. Normal day of guiding. Someone calls you up. How's that usually go?
90%, I never even talk to them. They
Oh.
book on my website. I get a ding
Yeah.
that they booked it, the date, the time, and I make sure I always call everybody the night before just to
Right.
touch base. But other than that, I normally don't even talk to them until the day before, and
Really?
we're about to get out there. Yeah, 90% of the business is all the website.
Wow. How do you know what they all want a live scope? Is that it, or how do you know what you're gonna bring for rods? If they're gonna
they
bring
have
kids
options on
or
the
something?
website.
Oh,
they can
well,
pick
tell us
how
about that.
many kids you have,
Right.
what lake you want to go to. I even have options for a ramp if you prefer to go to the closest ramp to your house.
Really?
We'll just go there. If you can find the fish somewhere around there. It's usually not too hard.
Really? So
they
you
got
really
all the options for all the lakes. They
like
can just-
food too?
they do have I do have a spot where they can, for extra
Take the-
fee, some sandwiches will show up too, and some drinks.
Wow, that's pretty nice.
Nobody's ever done it, but yeah,
Oh, no,
it's
no.
there.
Everyone's bringing their own stuff. They want
Yeah.
their own drinks and
Yeah,
stuff
they
like
know what they
that.
want.
So,
They bring a cooler most of the time.
so let's just run through the 4 seasons. Well, let's just start. Let's just do spring, summer,
Okay.
because this will air somewhere spring, summer.
Right.
If someone is going fishing that time of year, what can they kind of expect?
Well, if it's just now warming up, let's say beginning of April.
Let's say, maybe a month or 6 weeks from now.
Yeah.
Spawn, post spawn, and getting that way.
Right now, they're kind of staging up in the creek channels and stuff, and they're
Right.
going to move up. On Hudson, especially, they move up pretty far up the creeks and the rivers. You
Right?
really got to go after them if you want to catch them up there. Now, there'll be some in the main lake, but a lot of them will just all of a sudden disappear. And that's where they've gone, into 2 or 3 foot of
Good.
water that you don't even look at because your graph's all red. And
Right.
if you just go ahead and go over there, though, it's usually pretty good. Or start chunking corks way over there, whatever you got to do. And then they'll kind of pull out of there, and then they will just take off and go back to the main lake and the main river channel. So
Is
that'd be
that will
end
they
of
will they
April.
go to the first deep channel swing and then
Yeah, they'll
then
start
out to the
hanging
point?
that way, right? And
Yeah.
then come out to like where the creek meets the river.
Uh-huh.
You'll start seeing them along the river, and
Right.
then it'll be like overnight. They're just gone. And so you got to go back to the lake, and there they are. It's like they travel 2 or 3 miles overnight. I don't know.
And you, so besides just, scoping them,
Right.
you'll throw corks and you'll.
Oh yeah, that's the fun
You'll.
stuff.
I mean, you'll go over and do that too. It just depends on what the fish you're doing.
Right. I mean,
Does it
there's a lot
depend?
of ways to fish without the live scope if the
Right.
conditions are right.
Uh-huh.
But when the fish are all just roaming around, you got to either troll or live scope,
Right. And do you troll?
I used
You
to a
troll?
lot. I still have everything. My kids love doing it. So if we get kids in the boat, though, 9 times out of 10,
Trolling stuff's
the
coming.
kids can catch them like that.
And what are you trolling? Like jigs or
Crankbaits and jigs, yeah.
crankbaits and jigs? Oh,
Yeah.
good.
No planer boards, though. That's
No
something
planer
I learned
boards?
from the Ninja last year. I got
That's-
some in my boat, though, now.
Oh, you do?
I've been playing with them now. It's a learning curve for sure.
It's hard to beat the Ninja Crappie.
Yeah, he
guy
got it
because
just right.
he is the master.
Right. Yeah,
I
he's
mean,
got it down.
what's it? Is it master? Sensei.
Yeah.
Is he the
He's
sensei
a
of
double black belt or whatever.
double black belt? He flat out catches them.
He
We
does.
learned that last year.
Yeah,
It's
last
like
year we caught
every-
one fish between me and my buddy.
And he
and,
comes. I was with him.
Yeah,
And I
he's
was
the
with
only one
him,
caught
and
it.
we brought in 9 big
Big
crappie.
ones, good
Yeah,
ones.
like-
Live scope did not win that one.
no, that was a whooping. That's for sure. And I was glad I was on the other side of the whooping for
Right,
once.
yeah.
I was on the right side of the whooping.
And I seen it happen that whole week. We were out there in them trees, and the guys in the little John boat with no live scope were catching them and calling us cheaters. And we're like, I ain't even got one in 3 days, man. I don't know what to tell you. You're catching way more than I am.
You're kind of making up for it this
Right,
year. You
yeah,
guys are
it's a lot
really
better.
focused in on that. And you think that's what really, like a guide, like you being a guide, being able to focus on like a technique or a reservoir. Do you also say like, hey, look, Hudson's hot. We need to go there because look, it's
Definitely.
on fire. And if we go this other lake, it could be just an
Right.
average.
Now, if all 3 are doing good, I'll just let it go. But if
Right.
one's a definite misfire, I'll call and tell them we're going to have to adjust. Because, they're only 30 miles apart. So
Right.
it's not
And
that
they do.
big a
They
deal.
get hot, don't they?
Yeah, they
Because
do
they're kind of
rotate.
3 different
They
lakes.
do rotate, which one's really, really good. It kind of go in a circle,
Give us the name of the lakes again.
Grand Lake of the Cherokees,
Right.
Hudson Lake, and Oologah Lake.
Okay, so is Grand Lake more of a boat dock, brush pile lake?
Definitely, yeah.
Right.
There are roamers, but you really got to get the right area
Uh-huh.
of the river channels and stuff. But there's a lot of docks. Like you could catch crappie till you're just sick of it year round on some dock out there. You
Right.
might have to find the right one, but for some reason there's always one that is loaded.
Do you think the key is looking for rod holders on their boat dock?
No, because they all got those.
Not all of them
No,
got them.
some of them got too
Some of
much
them
money,
got
yeah.
lots of,
Yeah.
and they're older docks, and
Oh,
you're
yeah.
like, and they
You can kind
got,
of tell. Yeah.
and they got the sink.
Oh
right?
yeah, if they got the
sink and
cutting board and the sink. You gotta go look at that one. Yeah, you got
Yeah.
to.
You know that, the dude's catching them.
Or the big fish basket that goes
Oh,
on a
yeah.
crank handle. If they got that heavy duty basket, they're catching some fish.
That's,
Most likely.
so what's the other one? Oologah.
Oologah.
So tell us a little bit about that. A lot of people probably don't even know about that lake.
Oologah is its own monster. It's literally 40 miles long
Yeah.
or whatever. I think it's 40 miles if you go that way. And it can turn into the ocean really quickly. It's
Right.
wide open. North and south, so you get that north and south wind, and it's bad. But like in the summertime, if the wind will let you fish, man, it's an amazing place. You can catch lots of big fish.
Really, is that scoping them or what?
Yeah,
what
well,
technique?
you can actually just dip trees there because they'll go up to that north side where it's shallow in the
Right.
summertime. They get in that hot water, and there's so many trees you can just literally just go one to the
Isn't
next.
that crazy how shallow it seems like crappie
They
get
do the
in
worst thing
Oklahoma? Be like 104. Like you don't even have to cook that one, dude.
No,
you just
it's already
catch
done.
it.
Yeah,
like
he's
sushi.
done. If you get them out of the boat, you better put them right on ice because they're gone.
And what's the last reservoir you're fishing?
Lake Hudson.
Hudson. Now, I don't know much about Hudson.
Grand Lake runs into Hudson. It's below the
Oh,
dam.
it does.
Yeah. So you got Grand Lake, and it spill over the dam into Hudson.
Into Hudson. And so what's Hudson mostly? Is it standing timber or what is it?
Okay, it's pretty much like a river till you get to the far, far south. Yeah. And then it's kind of a reservoir. They can do some pleasure boating down there, but most of it, if you get out of the channel, you're probably going to hit a tree.
So that's good for crappie fishing.
It's awesome. The edge of the channel is loaded with timber,
And that keeps the traffic down too then.
Everybody's scared to go there, yeah. They don't want to tear their boat up, or you don't have too much boat traffic out there. No, you're good. It's all fishermen. That's it.
All fishermen.
No tubers, no jet skis.
Wow.
Fishermen. Now you get to the far, far south, sometimes you'll have some pleasure boats, but really there's not that many.
Let's talk a little bit about the equipment you use. You have crappie brakes. You have lithium batteries. What else are you pinned away, squirreled up inside that boat?
So this old boat I got, and I've pretty much just built what I thought would be the ultimate crappie boat. It's an 84 Champion.
Right.
And so I gutted it, put pumps. I got ballast where I can flood it and make it heavier.
Right.
I got oxygen, air, 2 80-pound trolling motors on the back, one on the front.
Crappie brakes.
5 lithiums. Lowrance, Garmin. And that's about it. I think that's about it.
That's about it. That's about it. Because you couldn't put nothing else in
there. I got to stack my rods on my chair because there ain't no room in the rod box. It's full of batteries and everything else.
Tell us a little bit about brakes. Crappie brakes. Everyone wants to know crappie brakes real hot, and the bass world thinks they just developed crappie. They think they've developed brakes, and it's like, dude, these dudes. How long have you had yours?
I want to say the first time we put them on would be probably 2.5, 3 years ago.
All right.
I can tell you how we figured it out was that guy won the Crappie Masters. I can't think of his name now that I need to. No, it wasn't Hayden. It was 3 years ago, Crappie Masters national champion, I think it was. Well, he walked everybody over and said, "This is how I did it." And he had 2 trolling motors on the back, and I said, "That's the best idea I've ever heard of."
Wow.
So I went and got 2 of them too. It just made sense. Right. Why not back up? How many times did you go too far?
And that's it. You overrun, you overshoot them.
Well, you want to hurry up and get them, but then you realize you're on the water. And
what we heard today that someone now has it, so he pushes one button, pushes the other, but only one moves at a time, not both of them.
Oh yeah.
And then that gets it to turn that boat and situate it. And
that makes sense. That'd be good.
Yeah, now look at what you're going to do like tonight. What time is
order
it?
Some switches, man.
He'll be out there. It's like 9:30. He'll be out there like
more money.
changing
there
the
goes
switches.
the money, man. We got to do something different. No, it's over. Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Got to keep up.
If you could give someone who's going out there crappie fishing in Oklahoma, around your region, what would it be? What would be your tip for them to catch more fish? Not bigger fish, but just more fish. People like catching fish.
Don't move the jig.
Okay.
Let it sit there.
All right.
Don't jig it.
Don't jig it.
Don't bounce it.
All right.
Don't pick it up and down 4 feet. Just don't do nothing.
Don't do nothing.
If you can find a way to make it not move, they seem to want to.
Isn't that impossible?
It's the hardest thing
as a guide, because isn't the person that's in the boat going like, "Oh, I'll just pick it up"?
Well, and their grandpa told them to jig it. His whole life, you got to move it. You got to move it. But
right.
Once we could see what the fish was doing, we realized we scared half of them off.
Said no more of that.
No more of that. And then you got the waves and the wind and the fish is moving and the live scope's moving and the rod's moving. Everything's moving, and you're trying to tell them to hold still. So it's a fun day,
There you go.
And then hopefully everything culminates to this little bitty dot, and the jig and the fish line up at the same spot at the same time, If that happens, you usually catch them.
There you go. That's how easy it is.
That's how easy it is.
And if it's not that easy for you, I recommend you talking to Mike.
Yeah. Or spend 700 days in a row out there, and you'll probably get it.
700 days. Hey, that takes us to Tackle Time. Tackle Time sponsored by PICO Lures. PICO Lures has a complete line of hard and soft baits. All of those things you want to catch those crappie on, you can guarantee you that PICO Lures got it. A lot of different colors, even pointer shads is. That's what I've been using to catch them down here some a little bit when I tie them on the poles. But you can check them out at PicoLures.com. Michael, Slabbin Mike, where can they get hold of you?
SlabbinMikesGuideService.com with 2 B's.
2 B's.
Yeah.
2 B's. 2 B? 2 B.
2 B's in the slab because somebody named Mr. Crappie's already got the SLB. So I got the SLBB.
There you go. BB, baby. No, that's all right. That's cool. Website? Give them the information.
SlabbinMikesGuideService.com.
Yep.
Or you can call me at 405-420-7868.
There you go. We're going to wrap it up. Always a good time having you on there. So
great to be
we'll have you on again, too. So we'll get it going. Like I always like to end the show, make sure you keep your hook sharp. Lures in the water.